Welcome to the Literary Titan podcast. In every episode, we dive into a book we've just read and share our thoughts, from best-selling authors to rising literary stars. We read it. Now let's talk about it.
In Badge on Fire, we follow Jack, a Berkeley fire captain who is both a local hero and a deeply compromised man, caught up with the Sangre Cartel and a corrupt mayor, using equipment donations to Mexico as cover for arson jobs that clear the cartel's path. The book opens with a brutal villa fire on a cliff in Ensenada, then shifts back to Jack's life at Station 5, his grief over his wife's death, and his fragile relationship with his teenage daughter, all while he tries to keep his double life hidden from his tight-knit crew. In parallel, Mexican detective Sofia Valderon pieces together a pattern of fires linked to American fire units, eventually tracing them back to Jack and coming to Berkeley undercover as a journalist. The story builds toward a confrontation where Jack has to choose between protecting his daughter and his firehouse family, and finally facing the damage he has been helping to cause on both sides of the border. The crime thriller frame is very clear, with cartel bosses, dirty politics, and an investigation that tightens like a noose. But what hooked me most was the everyday detail of station life and Jack's small routines, like pancakes for his daughter or banter over terrible coffee at the firehouse table. Those pieces made the bigger twists land harder, because I never forgot that the guy doing these awful things is also the one who shows up when someone's house is on fire. The cross-border angle feels textured rather than touristy, especially once we are in Sofia's head and watching her sift through files, maps, and late-night hunches. Every time she connects another fire to one of those goodwill equipment trips, the book nudges that uncomfortable question of how easily good intentions can be bent for ugly purposes. The prose is straightforward and visual, very much in line with a modern crime thriller, and the author has a good ear for how coworkers tease, comfort, and cover for each other in high-stress jobs. The fire scenes are vivid without being gore-heavy, and the quieter passages with Jack's grief and guilt feel honest enough that I winced on his behalf. A few moments feel a little pointed, and some side characters come across more as embodiments of certain roles or ideas. There are also a couple of spots where you can see the plot doing its work, with key information arriving just when it's needed to keep the investigation moving. For a crime thriller, Badge on Fire spends a lot of time on moral gray zones, on what happens when a protector becomes a threat, and on how systems of corruption use ordinary people's desire to help as cover. Jack's inner conflict, especially around fatherhood and the badge he has turned into a weapon, gives the book a weight that will keep you thinking about this story afterwards. Sofia's side of the story adds a needed counterbalance, grounding the consequences in the lives of those on the receiving end of the fires, not just the man starting them. I would recommend this book to readers who enjoy character-driven crime thrillers set in realistic worlds, with firefighters, detectives, and cartel politics all colliding. If you like stories that mix action with emotional fallout, and you are willing to sit with a flawed protagonist who makes some very bad choices before reaching for any kind of redemption, Badge on Fire is worth your time. For anyone curious about the shadow side of heroism and the cost of looking away, this is a satisfying read.
Thanks for joining us on the Literary Titan podcast. If today's review sparked your interest, be sure to pick up a copy of the book and experience it for yourself. If you enjoyed the episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a rating, or share it with a fellow book lover. Until next time, keep reading, not just to escape, but to grow.